Zemlak gets Swanson right up against the cage, and he talks about needing to use his wrestling, and the red beard is needing to do that early here.
Well, he's doing a great job in lifting that with the, you'll see the whizzer there with his right arm. And then any time where that arm starts to creep up, he'll switch to an underhook. Good wrestling here from David Swanson. We won't use his other nickname. He likes it, but it's derogatory to us redheads, I guess.
As a couple gingers are.
Yes.
He's allowed to call himself whatever he wants. I'll stick with Redbeard.
Remember, only ginger can call another ginger ginger. That's the important part.
Swanson getting a little bit of a warning from Mark Aparicio after he got caught holding the cage a couple times, but it does keep him on his feet, so it seems to have worked for him, as again, Matt Zemlak very adept at keeping him up against the cage so far, and maybe thought that was a bit of a low blow. Referee disagrees, and the fight continues.
Well, and the original reason that they didn't want fingers in the cage is a safety reason. Your fingers get caught in the cage, you get taken down, and bad things happen to your fingers. The other part of it, and that's the original reason behind it, the other part of it is guys started using it very quickly to correct themselves. Now with the warning given, David Swanson will not be able to do it again, or he might get deducted a point.
Watch your neck, watch your neck.
12 fights into the card, no decisions yet. All finishes thus far, and these two fighters fairly evenly matched so far here in round number one, although it's been Zemlak with the cage control to this point, having David Swanson up against the cage pretty much since the opening bell, Jim.
Yeah, and now finally does get the takedown, keeping him up against the cage. Tried to get to a point where he is able to land some strikes. There's an attempt there, and in on the neck, and try for a guillotine choke, but I don't think Swanson's going to be able to go to this. It doesn't look in very tight. He has got the guard now, so there is a bit of danger, but Swanson doesn't appear from our angle to be in much concern here, and he is continuing to fight, and normally if you start to punch, it means that you're not in too much danger.
Again, an arm in guillotine, and now out is David Swanson, and finds himself on top of Matt Zemlak. Swanson saying he's been wrestling 5 to 6 times a week to prep for this fight, has serious respect for the ground game of Matt Zemlak.
Yeah, and now on top here, and a nice up kick there, and then a return kick from David Swanson, as if you kick me in the face, I'll kick you in the leg. And now back on top, and that's the end of the round here. Just 3-minute rounds in the amateur fights.
I don't think the balance of the strikes nor the last kind of 30 seconds of the round on top by Swanson would have qualified. He rolled out of the guillotine, he had control at the end, but he wasn't really able to do much damage. So in my books, first round is Zemlak.
And again, pushing him up against the cages, Zemlak.
Swanson doing a good job of keeping his feet, Jeremy, although
nice takedown there.
Nice takedown. Zemlak really pulled him off the cage and had the one foot and kind of moved it side to side as opposed to forward and back, which meant that Swanson unable to hop along.
Yeah, you have to finish your opponent to the side, and by creating the space there by pulling Swanson off the cage, he was able to make the space. Otherwise, Swanson could just lean up against that cage, and it's impossible for a takedown. The thing that we have here, and the difference is when Swanson is on top, he is very effective at striking, and yet we haven't seen much from Matt Zemlak. But here we go, another guillotine attempt by Zemlak. But if Swanson falls out of this, and again, by striking, it doesn't appear that he's in any danger, he's going to end up on top. There's multiple times I've mentioned I don't like guys pulling guard in that guillotine because it's a very low percentage finish because it's trained so much.
Well, and you could see that Swanson never thought he was in any true danger, and now ends up in a full mount. And we'll see what he can do from here. Gives up the mount in favor of side control, and starting to drop a couple punches. Now he goes back to the mount, unloads with a big right hand. And Zemlak doing an effective job of staying away, but had his neck exposed for a moment. Swanson unable to take advantage, although you can see now he's trying to get both hooks in. At this point, he's going to have to flatten out his opponent. A little high, though, for my taste, trying to take us back.
Yeah, he's got one hook in, and now laying some hammer fists down to the face, and then a little more of a direct shot, but Zemlak coming back with a leg attack.
You can see Swanson attempting the arm bar there, but Zemlak able to squirm around it and end up in side control himself. So both these fighters going back and forth on the ground, each exchanging a dominant position. And now again, Zemlak holding his opponent down, driving a knee to the chest of David Swanson, and that a very important distinction because again, no knees to the head of an opponent at all here under SDN rules, and again going to the guillotine choke. And Jeremy, if you're not successful over time with this choke, that's really got to tire out your arms.
Well, it does tire out your arms, and again, he's putting a lot of effort into this, but it doesn't appear that Redbeard is in any difficulty, and his head pops out again. I can't stress enough that giving up a dominant position is not where you want to go, and you see that with Zemlak ending up on the bottom of David Swanson.
So the third and final round is underway here between Matt Zemlak and David Swanson. A kick thrown by Swanson, and first time we've got to a third round tonight, and it starts off the same way the first two rounds of this fight did, with Matt Zemlak having David Swanson up against the cage.
Yeah, and Zemlak doing an excellent job of being able to control the cage. The problem I'm having here is he doesn't look to be advancing the fight. He doesn't look to try and finish anything. Like we've seen the guillotines, but they haven't been very effective against David Swanson.
Zemlak now trying inevitably to work for the takedown, as he has in the last two rounds. He tries to bring him down, but again winds up on the bottom, and this time without a submission.
Yeah, and this is going to be an opportunity for David Swanson to be able to work a little bit out of here. Hopefully be able for him to be able to get into side control and get back to where he's comfortable. But Zemlak doing an excellent job of holding him tight.
So at this point, Jeremy, it'll come down to the judges, I think, whether or not the position matters with Zemlak being on the bottom but trying to finish, whereas on the top, Swanson hasn't done much to finish the fight when he's been on top. There was the one armbar try, but really it's been Matt Zemlak pushing the submission action with the guillotines from the bottom. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges are scoring higher.
Yeah, very. Again, it's not an easy job to be a judge, and it's kind of those points that you calculate in your own head. Is this is a point, this is a point, and again, no official points for judges, but they have to be saying in their mind, okay, red is winning, red is winning, red is winning, now blue is winning, blue is winning, and just to give that 10-9 must system that we do have in MMA.
Again, Swanson still on top, now working his way out of the guard and now into the half guard. Now he's flipped into a mount, and we'll see whether or not he can keep Zemlak down, and he can't, but a big knee once they get back up, and again, Zemlak has Swanson up against the cage.
Yeah, a nice push there for Zemlak, but again, I would love to see him have an opportunity to be a little more aggressive here. The wrestling in itself is aggressive, but it's not really looking to finish, in my opinion. I'm sure that this fight is going to go to a decision, although Swanson is letting his hands go now.
Well, and a nice right jab, and now another knee. This fight has been fought at close proximity the entire way. No effort for stand-up at all for Matt Zemlak. Just bowled in, and with just 10 seconds left in round number 3, this will likely be our first decision of the night. Swanson tried to end the fight right there with a big head kick, but Matt Zemlak got out of the way.